The following contest is a submission match. On the way to the ring, please welcome Kelly. And the opponent, from Palatka, Florida, Michelle McCool.
Welcome to Raw, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to you live tonight from Tar Helia, from Raleigh, North Carolina.
We should have booked this show for an outdoor arena, JR, because Raw's gonna blow the roof off this place tonight.
You're not kidding, King. Raleigh is Raw country for sure, and these fans are in for the night of their lives.
What a counter! I wonder if Kelly's doing anything after this match.
Come on. You're old enough to be hurt.
Her older brother, I know. Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling their paths are going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to the corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like when you're in the middle of a slobber knocker. And if you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog with a case of the limber taken.
All right, enough! I'm getting a translator before I have to come out here with you again. God bless the First Amendment, JR!
A textbook reversal there.
Can you believe we actually get paid to do this job, JR?
It's like a dream come true, King. Except when I have to sit here and listen to you drool over the divas.
Come on, JR. You know I'm helpless when it comes to puppies.
Oh, I know, King. And that's why I'm bringing the picture of...
She's got a handful of hair!
Vicious Smackdown! She's not taking any prisoners tonight.
Michelle's supposed to be a teacher, but I'll bet I could teach her a thing or two.
Well, my friend, you do have years of experience. I'm talking years, and years, and years. This is Raw action at its finest. That's why Raw is the #1 brand of sports entertainment.
You've got that right, JR. You're not going to see this kind of action on Smackdown.
Not on Smackdown or anywhere else. There's nothing else out there that can come close to the excitement of seeing the Raw superstars perform live. I've got a feeling that this has all the makings of an instant classic.
That's probably just gas, JR.
Well, I did have some good old Oklahoma barbecue before tonight's show, but I don't think that's it.
There's the reversal. Listen to the crowd, JR. I think they've got something to say to these superstars.
And if they're smart, they'll listen. Remember, without these fans, these superstars are out of a job. This match is going to continue until someone's completely, oh boy, adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No, it can't end like this. Come on, do something, quick!
These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on that, JR.
They have indeed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between them.
Yeah, and that's where things get dangerous. If you're too proud to admit that it's not your night, you might wind up risking your career for a single match.
But at the same time, King, no one makes it up the ladder without pushing themselves to the very limit. It's a very fine line to walk.
You talk about ruthless aggression. Look at the way these superstars have been going after each other.
They're not playing with kid gloves, that's for sure.
We knew we were going to see a heck of a match, but this might turn out to be... Oh, go ahead and say it, JR.
All right, I would. Look at this. Look at this. You talk about a house of fire, you're seeing it right here.
Yeah? Well, somebody better put out that fire, or this one's not going to end well. I might have a few years on Kelly, but fortunately for her, I don't have a problem dating younger women.
I should hope not. At your age, I'd imagine that's most of them. This capacity crowd is solidly behind their superstar. Look at this.
Wow, could you be any more biased, JR? How about some fair and balanced commentary? I think these superstars are getting some feedback from the crowd, JR.
Nothing wrong with that, King. That's what we like to hear. You know, I bet you could have been a straight A student if more of your teachers looked like Michelle McCool.
Maybe, but if Michelle was my teacher, I'd have been going for a couple of D's too. I don't think these superstars have any intention of taking it easy on each other tonight.
That's not what they signed up for, King. And quite frankly, I think these fans would be disappointed if they didn't go all out.
Well, that's easy for the fans to say. Climbing up the turnbuckle isn't bad. It's all the way you can come down that hurt. Oh no, this is terrible. You can't let your opponent build this kind of momentum.
Well, all I can say is someone's been eating their vitamins and saying their prayers. That went nowhere. Oh my. Kelly, are you seeing what I'm seeing, King? Looks like turnabout is fair play. I think Michelle McCool's going to teach her opponent a lesson here tonight.
I wish I could get a little one-on-one tutoring from Michelle.
You know, it would be worth it if she could teach you how to hold your tongue every now and then.
I bet there's a few things she could do that would leave me speechless.
Boy, howdy. This Kelly is something else, isn't she?
She sure is. She's almost enough to make me say something nice about ECW. Almost. Oh boy, these top rope moves can go either way.
Michelle McCool is one of WWE's hottest divas. But her attitude leaves me a little chilly.
Speak for yourself. I think I've got a schoolboy crush on Michelle.
Oh, so you moved up from schoolgirls to teachers. I guess we could call that maturity.
Well, from the looks of things, it's not hard to tell how this one's gonna go.
What are you talking about, King? I think this is... Oh, man, I think we're about to see a high-risk move here. Kelly certainly is a beautiful young woman. But I'm sure you wouldn't have anything to do with a ECW vixen now, would you?
Well, hold on there. Kelly's a young woman, and she's bound to make a mistake or two.
Gee, let me guess. You're hoping to be her next one.
Any superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match.
That's for sure. No matter how beat up you are, You can't ever let your opponent know the extent of your injuries.
And that's easier said than done, JR. The human body can only absorb so much punishment. I don't remember teachers being as hot as Michelle McCool when I was in school.
Well, that was before the invention of the electric light. So you probably just couldn't see.
You know where this is going?
I sure do. She might have broken her opponent in half with that spear. I tell you, King, I've got no earthly idea how these superstars can maintain this intensity week after. She's looking to end this.
Oh my gosh! And that spear might do it! You can look at any professional sport you want, JR, and you won't find more incredible athletes than the WWE Superstars.
You're not wrong, King. They compete every week until they are physically incapable of continuing. There's no off-season in the WWE.
We're not talking about running a ball down a field or slapping a puck into a net. This is serious physical competition.
It sure is. The toughest athletes in the world are on the WWE roster, and that's a fact. That's a short climb, but a potentially long fall.
After some of the things we've seen in this ring, JR, I think we'd better remind the folks at home not to try this stuff themselves.
That's for damn sure, King. The WWE Superstars are trained professionals.
And even they don't walk away from every match in the best shape.
They sure don't. We've seen more than one superstar taken out here on a stretcher.
I think we're going to find out just how much punishment the human body can withstand here tonight.
I think you're right, King. These superstars seem intent on taking each other to the limit.
I love that attitude, JR. Go big or go home.
Well, these superstars sure aren't going home until this match is settled once and for all. Excellent counter. What ring presence. What an incredible performance by these phenomenal superstars.
Did you expect anything less, JR? I mean, look who's in the ring right now.
No, I didn't, King. I had high expectations, and I'm happy to say...
Looks like someone's heading for the high-rent district. This has gone beyond just being a match, JR. I think these superstars genuinely hate each other.
There's no love lost between these competitors, that's for sure. If looks could kill, somebody would be pushing up daisies right.
Oh boy, this looks like an all-or-nothing move. I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's gonna go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective. I think someone's going for a high-risk move, JR. I talked to these superstars backstage before the match, and I don't think I've ever seen competitors so ready to get it on.
And that's coming through loud and clear here tonight in this match. They're not taking it easy on each other either.
It's been said a million times, but I'll say it again. This isn't ballet. Ruthless aggression is the name of the game. I don't think that these
You're putting a lot on the line when you climb that turnbuckle.
So, how do you think this one's going to turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no idea. Anything can happen here in the WWE.
But you've got to have a guess, right?
I might, but I'd rather keep it to myself if it's all the same to you, King.
These superstars are going to tear each other apart.
That's exactly what the fans paid to see, King, and they're not going to go home disappointed.
I feel so lucky that I'm actually getting to see these superstars wrestle each other.
Me too, King. This has the potential to become an instant classic. This is a risky move. It could prove to be disastrous. I'm not so sure this one's about winning or losing anymore. I think it's become more personal than that.
Of course it's personal, JR. Anytime you step into the ring with someone who wants to beat you down in order to win the match, it's personal.
I guess I can't argue with that, King. I just wonder if they'll be able to settle their differences in this match, or if it's going to wind up bigger than that. Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh, really? Well then, why don't you just enlighten the rest of us, King?
No way! I can already tell this is going to be a great match, and I don't want to ruin the ending for you.
You're too kind, King. You're also full of horse manure, as far as I can tell.
I think I see where this one's going, JR. I don't think we're very far from the end of the match.
I disagree entirely, King. I'd bet my Oklahoma Sooner ass that this one isn't even close to being over.
That's a pretty big bet, JR. Are you sure you're able to cover it?
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears have been shed in that very ring.
And I think there's going to be a lot more shed here tonight.
No doubt about that, King. These superstars are going to leave it all in the ring. You can count on that. She's got her opponent by the hair.
And what a backbreaker! That could be the beginning of the end. You gotta respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their careers.
No question about it, King. Every superstar on the roster has had to make more sacrifices than any other professional athlete I know.
It really is like being married to your career. There's not much room for anything else.
And No! How can the referee allow something like that?
Come on, JR. You know that the referee's health plan doesn't include vision. These superstars are beating the heck out of each other, and this crowd can't get enough of it.
It's what they paid to see, King, and they're getting their money's worth tonight.
They sure are, JR. There's no question these superstars are earning their paychecks. I feel like the luckiest guy in the world, JR. I can't believe I actually get paid to do this job.
Well, don't let Mr. McMahon hear you say that, King, or you might wind up having to do it for free.
That's true. I don't want to say that Mr. McMahon's...
There's no room for error when you're on the top rope. These top rope moves are always difference makers, for better or worse.
Wow! Stealing your opponent's finishing move definitely sends a message. You think these fans have gotten their money's worth tonight, JR?
If they haven't yet, I'm sure they're going to by the end of this match.
Well, oh boy, here she goes.
She just slapped the taste out of her opponent's mouth.
I can't remember the last time I saw superstars this fired up. I don't think they've even considered the possibility that they might win this thing.
There's an awful lot of pride on the line here, King. No one in that ring wants to have to go back to the locker room as a loser. You've got to ask yourself, how much punishment will these superstars be able to withstand tonight?
I don't know, JR, but I think they're pretty intent on finding out.
They certainly are. I don't know how it's going to end, but I can guarantee you they're going to leave it all in the ring.
Man, is there even going to be anything left of these superstars by the time they're done?
Not if they have their way, King.
Oh my gosh! Can you imagine getting beaten with your own finisher, JR? What are they gonna do next?
I couldn't even begin to guess, King. That's why they say anything can happen here in the... This is her chance.
Ow! I've been slapped like that a few times in my day. Not that I didn't deserve it. I think these superstars have a legitimate beef with each other, JR.
So do I, King. I'm not so sure their issues with each other are going to be solved with one match.
I hope not. I'd love to see them go at it again and again. I wonder how long these superstars will be able to keep this up.
They'll go as long as they need to, King. And if they can't, they won't be having their arms raised after the match. That's for damn sure. I'm sure these competitors have studied each other very carefully.
This match would be over by now if they hadn't, JR. You never get into the ring without doing your homework.
That would be a recipe for disaster for sure, King.
I thought I'd pick the winner before the match started, JR, but now I'm having second thoughts.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, King. Usually I wonder if you've even had first thoughts. I don't believe it. We might see a superstar get beat with her own finishing move here.
Here's your winner, Michelle McCool.